And welcome to the beach. Pismo Beach, to be exact. No video yesterday. I ended up doing an Uber ride from San Luis Obispo down to like a far eastern end of LA. And boy, is that place miserable. Smog, traffic, accidents all over the place on the freeways. It's amazing that people want to and just choose to live there versus right here in this. I think this might be the first time in my life that on December 1st I am not in a place just freezing my ass off. It's about 58 degrees here on the beach, and I didn't even know that places like this in the US in December were this, well, at least on the coast, this mild. Maybe in Florida, but just have this so accessible. The beach, you got these mountains behind you. I know that California gets a lot of trash talk, but boy, they really have the best weather, and just like the landscape, it's hard to beat, at least in the US. And at times like these, I really just wish that my friend who decided to leave this world would have given it a little bit more time. Perhaps traveled around, seen different parts of the country and the world for that matter, instead of just thinking where you are in that moment, that nothing can change, you can't leave, you can't escape your current predicament, and just choose to make a change. Make that choice. Leave for better or worse, I suppose. And give some other experiences a shot. Different locations. Trying to meet different people, I suppose. Different friends. Taking a chance. Because when you leave this physical body and this world, that's it. There's nothing left. And probably when you hit a certain age too, when you're no longer young enough to travel, it's then impossible too. So no matter what, as long as you're healthy, you're mobile, and you can just get around and you have a healthy mind and body, you can get through a lot. Even being homeless, I think that there's a lot of hope still out there for all of us. Just walking through all these shops in downtown Pismo along the beach, you think how much innovation and just new products invented along this area of the world is probably incredible. Different surf shapes, kiteboarding, probably sporting equipment, drones, all kinds of stuff. Just right from small town America. because people keep on thriving to do things better and to keep innovating. And it's too bad that corporate America has taken over all of these small entities in the world, and they've just created slop. They don't actually create or innovate anything. All they do is take over other people's creations and then create it into a money-making machine, devoid of any creativity, heart, and soul, just meant to make money at the detriment of so many people. And it's too bad, because there's so much creativity that goes into these products and not initially, and then it just becomes soul-sucking. I like to think of Uber as a good example, because initially it was about connecting people together, and then it just became this mass creation to create more money for the select few at the top, and then basically abandoning all the drivers and the passengers at that, because the drivers now barely make minimum wage, and if they're forced to do that as the only gig, then there's no other entity out there that they can get into. And for the passengers, they're just being charged more and more money. And the only people that profit are the select few executives and the CEO, making $44 million at the top. Something completely outrageous, and there's no reason for someone to have that much money, really at the detriment of 90% of the people out there, and continually trying to undercut the drivers. Like yesterday, doing a 200-mile ride from San Luis Obispo down to LA, and then magically, after the ride's completed, it disappears. And then Uber says, oh, there's no record of it. Did you take a screenshot of the ride? Well, it's not in my driver profile, it's just gone. So there's nothing to take a screenshot, it's just disappeared. And actions like this from billion-dollar corporations just ruins the trust of society. Hopefully it doesn't turn person against person. It should be people against these billion-dollar corporations. But sadly, I think it's just eroding people's relationships along with their quality of life, and it's just something that we're gonna have to fight back against at some point. So nothing's been resolved yet with Uber, but hopefully they'll find this ride and then pay me, because this took literally 7 hours yesterday of my life, and there's nothing holding them accountable if they don't pay me. It's just, oh, sorry, you're out of luck. We can't prove the ride. And granted, they for sure track passenger phones, track my phone, pick up to the actual drop-off destination, they see the time, all that information, but there'd be nothing holding them accountable if they just decide, we're not going to pay you for this, we're going to pocket the money for ourselves. And it's just too bad that as the little guy, we end up fighting these billion-dollar corporations just for the scraps that they agree to give us. But then at the end of the day, sometimes they're not even giving us those scraps anymore. It's just, well, we're not going to pay you, and if you quit, it's fine, because we've got a million other people willing to do this job, and maybe we'll screw them over too. And it's just, this recycled process of just eliminating people and bringing on new ones. It's too bad. And, you know, I know it's very difficult, but maybe it's time that we get back to supporting the small town American businesses rather than the big conglomerates and the Amazons of the world. Showing the support for those who support us. Because in the end, the bigwigs don't care and they'll just leave us out to dry. All of this will just become a soulless, advertised concrete block without any beauty to it. And it will all just be a decaying mess.
Have a look at this. It's a typical modern lamppost. Do you like it? Well, it does its job, but not much else. But look over here at another lamppost. It does its job and a little bit more. It's details like these that help make this such a charming place to be. But these two lampposts don't just look different. They represent fundamentally different worldviews. If you want to understand any society, don't listen to what it says about itself. Look at what it creates.